viewers, now good evening. The program when they watch now UDUOTA. UDUOTA means the heart of the matter, and we reach from independent television in this Nigeria. Yes, this evening I deal with one of our very own, and Chilsa Gabriel, in a politician, and very soon I will see the kind of politician in the play. Okay, Chilsa, good evening.
Good evening, Malolo.
Well,
good evening, viewers.
All right, joining us via Zoom this evening, the head of new media for PDP will be Barrister Anthony Hilebo. He will join us via Zoom, and so many other people too will also join us via Zoom when we put on this discussion. But so far, so good. Chilsa, when you look at the political setting in Nigeria as a young man, is it favorable for the young people? Is there a future for them in terms of political arrangement?
Yeah, well, if you want to go by the scenario on how governance has been and how things they play out season after season during the electoral period and times, and knowing fully well that the results where they come out from those electoral victory never did very strong, to also create a room to refer to certain younger people who play their role for the system. You can say that on that view, say not today fair, you understand, but adversely, it's also fair in a way. Perhaps if you talk, say maybe the young men who did the political system, you know, which kind of mindset they get, you understand, and that politics where they play, how they take understand them. If you know, like they talk, say now who wear shoe, now know where they pay now for leg. If they politics and they play the political game, and for some reason, if you say younger people, there's this belief that they're not too they favor, you know, they're not too they favor them. I think that for the younger people on their own to come work out strategy or work out a way to know how to take they more relevant more, or to take play role more, perhaps maybe they elect them more in order to overcome that aspect of saying that the political system not give room to young people. You understand? So for instance, for the politics thing, there are instances of things they talk about on leadership. It's purely on leadership. They go say who be your leader. Somebody where they look up to, somebody where they teach you how the electoral processes they work, from the point of engaging people to vote, from the point of going through voting times and even nominating candidates. You know, sometimes I feel that the young people, to a very large extent, fail to understand, say, with those leadership, there is a limit to certain aspects at which they go align with them. If you feel the need to differ a little bit, it don't mean say you be prodigal son. You know, you understand? Because politics don't get permanent enemy, not permanent interest. If you get permanent interest for certain matter, adverse to your leader position, you should normally be able to express that fact. You understand? So that is a character the person is supposed to develop within them. Because at the end of the day, not be the end of the world between you and your leader. But many things they were the leaders or your leader goes to talk about for the political system because they get the experience. You know what I mean? Because they don't see many things for the system. When you get to learn, you know, you should be in a position to listen to them more. So that at the end of the day, whether you agree fully or you not agree fully, it could be a win-win situation for the political party, the leader where they follow, the you where they follow the leader, and the populace, which is the general public, where could once they create government and make rules for.
But other politicians say the youth don't get the kind of money to be able to fight the elderly ones because those ones, they don't make money and they use the money to intimidate the young people.
You see, politics, now something will be say, you know, if you plan without saying you don't spend money, you understand? Sometimes if you play the politics and you spend a lot of money, at the end, if the strategy not the right, if the time is not the right, if the season not the right, you know, those money you go spend them in vain. You get the point? Because you know this thing about politics will be say, whenever anybody come up say you want to contest or say you be a young person, you want to play your role, the elderly people don't sabi one character will be say they go let you will be the young person they spend your money for every political activity. You get the point? So when it's time to make decision on things where they're supposed to allow that younger person contribute, at the end of the day, they go sideline out. Most time the young person go the vest, say, well, if I get money, he don't spend all the money, and at the end, when they take decision, They know the call am. To me, those are part of the problems when it comes to the issue of money. Whether you do politics or you dey plan fully or partially, anything wey you wan engage with, it must definitely get to do with money. It's just like everyday life. If you wan comot from house, you wan travel go, you wan take transport go Ring Road, or you wan drive your car go Upper Mission, you must buy fuel for your car now. In most cases, God forbid, something go wrong, you must still cough out money to fix the car. So any activities or anything wey you dey do, you must spend money put. And on that note, I feel say the younger people not feel always complain say the older ones get money to oppress them, or they spend money for them not to get what they want. Because the truth is the older ones not they spend their money, they put their money for pocket. They always look for prey or new person wey no understand how it be, to give her some kind of encouragement to say no worry, when the time come we go support you for XYZ, spend your money, and when your money don't finish then they look for the next one. So now the younger person will need to use his sense to find out a way to know how to manage both the politics when they play, the people where they play with, the other members of the party across the world or state or national level, so that they don't go to put money for waiting or give them the result where they need. Because at the end of the day, the story comes back to the idea of the young people and being allowed to contribute their quota, and at the same time not waste too much money without getting results.
Okay, we will look at so far. Would you say the way federal government go about the appointment of ministers and even most political appointments in this country, are we in the right direction?
Well, I think several occasions we don't do on air, whether we conversate or they talk privately. There was a time when former President Olusegun Obasanjo had power, and this issue of federal character really play out then. And at some point, when they attack and tell us, say, this appointment way they do, it get as a bill, it's not too balanced like that. Though the own was not as it is today, in talk say, well, as him be president, so make the allow appoint who you want appoint. You understand? Provided they give a result. But if anybody complains that they don't like the appointment, when they enter power and they become president, may they appoint their enemy. You get the point. So that one kind of kept everybody shut, keep quiet for some time. And Obasanjo moved ahead, run his government, did his appointment. In some cases, it's not too fair, but at the same time, they play their role as an individual. It's unfortunate, say, we for the country would never see again nationalism in us, whereby if a tribal they political office, say maybe a Yoruba man, he go always in favor of people. You know, go look at us as Nigerian. Perhaps that's why those things happen. So if you come back to the question of whether or not the way they do them, so it's good. They say information is power. When you get information, it gives you a lot to understand how you go to structure your argument. For me, for waiting I know, if I get up tell you say it's not good, then I will tell you say I forget about it, I go you run see time when you did government. Because when you did government, now mainly Southeasterners, now the guy appoint. Do you understand? So nothing different from now from then till now, even if say the only difference is that a military rule, this one a democratic rule. So to me, now the president, now I know how he wants to run the government. You know what I mean?
But other people, the healer, at least you don't give a article, what do you name, the head of EFCC. You see that the guy is a very young man now, Abi, and some other thing.
Yeah, well, the guy for EFCC is a young man, but if you look at the aspect where the question regarding the appointment, now more of the region where you come from, you understand? There's no doubt that the young man is a smart guy, and he has, me and I don't sit down for Lagos, for your office, we don't talk before. Now, very intelligent guy, and he get the energy, he get the understanding of the job, and I think what the guy really need now is the support. Since the president don't put a young man there, now to give him the support and the enabling environment, make it do the job. And that support not be necessarily from the public. That support means that a lieutenant and the people who they work with, I mean they're sincere. Because he, as the EFCC chairman, a very upfront person, a very reasonable person. He's young, he's very smart, he know the job. They don't just kind of pick and give him. Now because to a very large extent, they don't display exemplary character to show say he get the capacity to try to limit some of these things. But then again, the people where they work with, and many of them, they're very crooked. You understand? So now those ones go there sincere with the process, so that may therefore help him succeed as a young man. So that may still the record say young men hold a very big office, and at the end, it deliver. Sure, you understand? So that is the aspect. For me, the instance of the commission and how they indict people, sometimes certain of the lower rank officers or people who get political interest, they go after people for whatever reason, just to get a particular political interest. And even when it happen, people not even bother to talk about saying a political attack. They could just say, well, the person don't collect what not be. We're making answer in Papa name. You understand? So on those aspects, I don't feel say it really today good for a young man of a nature to the office. Perhaps they can compel him to do certain type of jobs when they not go day good, as an example, to say because in a young man, do the right thing. So I just hope that he succeeds.
So far, are you satisfied with because a lot of people they complain about the governor of this Kogi State, say the way they do, they not like him. They not represent the interest of the public. The governor of Kogi State.
Yes,
that they say young people enter, but young people and don't enter now. They they do well.
See, but you see, the thing is this, not the older generation, not be many of them they're very good, but those good older generations, today they not did the political system or the governance system to play the role to do the needful or to do the right thing. You see, now one bad orange, now they spoil 99. You understand? If you get 99 good elderly people, one bad elderly man will use less, scatter all of them. And most of those good people, they don't want to stay in the environment for long, especially when lie don't they. They feel say, no, me, how come the day they defend myself when person they lie? You whether they lie to supposed to understand, say, see as my character be. You get the point? So on that note, if you look at the instance of Yahaya Bello, I know the Kogi State. I know they stay for Kogi. I don't only the drive past. Since when the banditry things stay bad, if I travel, I know they travel with my security team. I don't even see any need when I go travel by land until for some time we know say things don't do okay. Normally, I they travel Abuja, they go Kogi, they go a donut easily, no problem. But since when this banditry thing come up, me I never go Kogi since, so I don't feel really sit down here. They unfair, or just join the bandwagon with people where they condemn or they talk about Yahaya Bello, say no do this and not do that. You see. Most time, when they talk about Yahaya Bello, they refer to him as a youth. Fine, now youth. Perhaps a youth in that stage will be said, don't they go adult. There are areas where you don't still do good as governor. You understand? There are areas where you don't still get shortcoming. Even if Yahaya Bello turned the whole of Kogi to Dubai today, say it can't be beautiful like Dubai, people go see the way go complain about her. You understand? So sometimes, not be the complaints you go to talk on, because the complaints when you go see is another social media or on a person where they talk for Benin here. It never probably go Kogi for the last 3-4 years, but you go see get the guts to criticize the man. So to me, I don't think so those things they healthy really. They just need to allow the man govern, make you do your mainstream move on, because now youth we don't they midst of many elderly men we don't run government, we not do well. So if they just put criticism, just they pressure the governor, Yahaya Bello, they fight out front, right, and center. How you expect her to deliver on his electoral promises? So some of this stigmatization is too much.
The way politicians do for this country, sometimes people for the other side could look and say nobody good for inside this country. Look like everybody is just waiting for their time to grab. Everybody look for time to grab because you were expecting, when they will bring Emeka will finish everything. When the Emeka go enter, it go worse. So, does it mean that there are no good people in this country again?
I just made reference to the EFCC chairman, Rashid Bawa. He could describe me and say, you are quick-witted. Because as we talk, before you say anything, me don't give an answer. Before me ask any question, don't give me an answer. When they say quick-witted, it means somebody where they respond to questions quite quickly and accurately. I tell you, say now, those who they walk around and I go help them succeed. May they not they lie, may they not they victimize people, because who follow person drag land is not happy, you don't use the FCC, go to disturb them. Go to lie to a guy, what's not happy, go say happen. Before that one, don't travel, go America, travel all over the world, answer conference. You now rely on the commission, on the 2IC. And if the 2IC get alignment to do bad officers, before you know it, the person where they do miscarriage of justice go there. So what I'm trying to say, if they do the right thing and they're sincere with the process, that ain't going to be the credit where the young man gets. So when it comes to the issues of
there's the way the manner people have been appointed,
like the politicians
yes.
now, the issues of politicians.
Yes.
Politicians.
That it looks as if for now, look as if politicians are only waiting for their time to grab.
You see, politicians
when they never enter office, they will behave like when they enter office, they will turn on the edge.
You see, politicians.
Does it mean that because come like say good people not really come again?
You see, good people
they.
Politicians not be bad people. Just that the older generation, they still very strong in the forefront of how they do things the old way. You know, understand? When you look at the issues of politicians when come into a political office, the reason why they fail or succeed are because of the civil servants who around them. So the politicians now the image of the government, but the civil servant.
That issue of.
Let me finish this point. Okay. The civil servant now there be the people will be the real bad guys. Now there be the people who they meet that politician tell and say, "Oga, as you do so, I don't pledge my loyalty. See what you do, see what you do, see what you do until they collect unnecessary money." You understand? There's nobody will put sugar for a mouth to go spit them away. You get the point? But you go take a good, courageous person who understand, say they don't already get stigma for politicians, to stand the ground to say, you know what, I will get certain key people when I trust to an extent, say, you go fit deliver, to help me act when I'm absent, because government is not run in isolation. Government is a group of different parastatals or different sections together, whereby you need people to think like you. If you come in as a politician, you really want to deliver. The people who you go meet, they de-institutionalize for that system. For so long, now they even get money past. Civil servants don't even get money past politicians. But the political idea now, one of the kind of message where they put out to say, this politician can't govern, and the end they do X, Y, Z, they not perform. Whereas they don't know say for them to perform where. Now the people where they work with them, for those ministries, those civil servants, I go help them be. It just be like a house with no good foundation. And politicians will come, go, but those civil servants, they remain. So if people really want to be fair to the issue of politicians, there are good politicians. They also need to turn the searchlight and beam man on the civil servants, where they're very crafty. And no matter how many politicians you bring home, they go always they corrupt them. If somebody constantly tell you one thing over and over and over, unless you get will, or maybe end up even sacking all of them, say, they don't want to do the need for you. Before you know, you become you'll be swallowed and consumed by those demands to do the wrong thing. So good people, the politicians are not particularly bad, but majority of the politicians too themselves. You can't be like say politics now, they only work. They just want to go there, believing saying that they are turned to get money. And those money where politicians they eat, they're not they eat it alone, they eat it with civil servants. Soldier go, soldier come, barrack not they dry. No matter the politician will come, the civil servants are just there betting, looting, along with whoever he thinks they do wrong as politicians. So those things must be corrected uniformly, in a uniform way. You understand? Not just particularly say the politicians bad. Because the politicians, they be the actual face, but they are also a victim to a large extent. Because when they don't agree, they do all this kind of African mentality and diabolical things will come on board. And at the end of the day, you know, so it be. So that is the aspect.
Okay, maybe we look at a little bit about politics. I know it's not a political party, but at least you are a Nigerian citizen. Now, before now, the opposition political party, PDP, can say they can't get this Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi committee when we say we won't do convention for their next meeting. So that committee, they can't recommend zoning. Yes, and for their next meeting where they go, they constantly they won't do zoning. They zone national chairman to the north.
Okay.
But inside that same place, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar say no, that zoning is not be zoning go solve our problem. So when you see that kind, what if you see Atiku they talk about?
It is very clear that now interest in the pursuit. You know, Atiku Abubakar na big time politician. He has been in the game for a very long time. When he finished as a custom officer, he go into politics. He don't attain heights, you understand? He win as governor of Adamawa State before Obasanjo picked him to be his vice president. Though the beginning was smooth and the end was rough, because at the end, Obasanjo fight him to stand still on the instance of corruption. Do you get the point?
Yes.
To me, they're very strange why Obasanjo go able to fight Atiku for corruption, because with all due respect, he himself, his skeleton fully covered too. So all those kind of public display of that nuisance act, not really too nice in the likes of those people who are highly placed in society. For the PDP to do the zoning, it is only because they get the feel as say the ruling party, APC, probably do the needful. Not even probably, they will do the needful. As the party say, President Buhari don't rule from the north, and I believe very strongly that President Buhari will also support the fact that may president come from the south, because on that rotational basics. Perhaps Atiku may have looked at things from two angles. Say, okay, PDP never produced president for a while, you understand? And he get interest for the office. Perhaps that's why they try discontinuance within the PDP larger house talk. But the thing is that because the PDP larger house, they look at how they probably save the party and give a good image to Nigerians, say that they fair. The issue of interest can come from the side of Atiku. Whether or not Atiku will stop the larger population, if 90% say now this direction will they go, whether him and the crew go physically stop that fact, I think time will tell. But in any event, it's always a matter of interest, either for personal or general uniformity of say we want to rebuild our party. I think the PDP Governors Forum is looking at that direction, because they don't probably tire for opposition. While Atiku on his own is thinking well, he get the capacity to win, because they don't vote for him. Many millions of people don't vote for him, so they're not the hate him like that. You get say perhaps. It no matter where the president come from. But I get this message from Mr. Atiku Abubakar, former vice president, obviously somebody who's really respected, like we all respect him. It matters now which side the presidents from come. You know, understand? Because at the end of the day, we feel say we still grow as a democracy. And by the grace of God, time will come when it not go matter where the president come from. But as this 2021 what we did, with all due respect to them, it doesn't matter where the president comes from. That's why the wisdom of the governors in that party, who are the major key players in that party, say Venezuela concerned. So me, on my own view, it is very important and it matter, say the president, whether the zone out to south. Because now what you go even give them edge with that. No, but even if I know say APC go still win them come 2023, because now they really don't know.
APC, no, PDP not do that. So you know if he
APC go win.
No, they're not there now. So you know if you just talk say they go away, but at least we look at balancing the situation and how it is. But for now, the PDP head of new media from Abuja, Barrister Hilebo, is trying to join us via Zoom, but the thing never feel good. But how we see India online now, when they talk that kind of stuff, all with them. Yeah, well, for that go talk, but now you know this. So
everybody go say you're going to win. You go physically say you're going to win, but I not say with the way things don't be so far so good.
Until 12 na jam.
The APC is doing well.
Until 12 na meet. Each of who is doing well, I know is don't do well, who go win will not fit discuss. Okay, make we go ahead for inside this program again. Make we look at the. You said the other day you travel go Abuja, you dey talk to the head of EFCC. If you dey for Benin, you no believe say for Edo, because we dey talk about young people. It come like say the EFCC for Edo, now only all these boys when they do yahoo, now they just come for. I be politicians want to be the one say they cash. How come now only these boys when they say they do yahoo, now they just a bust?
Well, I think those.
You know they sell this one.
I think those aspects of that job is more of interest, because if you ask EFCC officials why it be like that, they will tell you say in a petition when it come. Sure, you understand? Maybe people they write petition against anybody with a feel say misappropriate money, like the politicians. Maybe more of them will see they happen. But I know say many politicians.
What is it more of a feel they have?
No,
the complaint when they get that they say
because I know so many politicians deal with such
the way they say the raids. You know, all these boys now in the name of internet for would also expect me to read politicians like that.
Yeah, well, like I said to you before, it is based on request. Okay. If the Western world now they work with EFCC direct, right? And from America, for example, and other Europeans, especially America, they make requests on issues where they feel say they related to fraud. It could be why they do it. But then, like I told you, the officers with the FCC, many of them, they corrupt. They go still feel they do things just to steal
some of the
people.
officers.
Many of them, some of them, they feel they
when you say they corrupt,
no,
they are not yet
just go somewhere, buzz the place, just to feel say if they arrest people, they'll still settle them, or whatever reasons. Because for me,
you don't see something like that before.
Well, people don't complain say they hotel rooms. They use master key. They open all the doors for Lagos and all those things. I don't know what it lead to them, but you know, no matter what, I feel that there are other better ways. You understand to deal with such things. You see, the country not the easy for the EFCC people. Neither is it easy for the people where they go after. You understand? Because the economic recession will happen. Because before Buhari took over government, before President Buhari, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari took over, we already know say Okonjo-Iweala they cry say this our country they run into recession.
Yes.
May they look out for tomorrow. They don't look out for tomorrow. When the president come on board, after some time COVID hit. So when COVID hit, the economy stands still. Sure, you understand?
Yes.
So all these things can add up to President Buhari's government to feel manage. So it can't be like saying some kind of hardship they the land. Perhaps we go push people towards certain things where they do. So if the FCC people they do what they do, most of them still they live hand to mouth. It's not just easy for them. Perhaps if opportunity there for them to do things when not they appropriate to get money, they might still do it. Perhaps I still feel say many of them still they get query, they still they discipline some, they still probably they transfer some or they sack some based on illegal work in any way or form. But we are all Nigerians. Those who do law enforcement, those who do the day after. I think a time will come when we need to sit together and really look at how we can eradicate these reactive measures. When something don't go wrong, another wrong, constantly correct the right. But maybe if the economy they boom and we come together to see how we allow investment come, all this insecurity not there. Person will go probably do what they assume saying that Yahoo get talent to establish your own business. You know go there that line. Sure you understand. And only God know what to make situations they that bad. But I know say the economy and the country they be difficult for people. Maybe that is why they attract many of those kind of behavior. If work not there, they say that idle mind is a devil's workshop. When work not there, and they see certain people where they the system, that they live as if say the money not be problem. So you could definitely push people to do things where they not supposed to do. So the whole idea of what did they happen, it be like say police say bail is free, and at the end you must still pay money to bail yourself. You get the point. So that dichotomy and that problem not they lie with EFCC alone. Now every law enforcement agency and the so-called things where they go on, still they continue. So perhaps maybe the law enforcement and the issue where they go not be the way to take resolve on in a long time. Maybe we should look at ways at which it can be resolved. You get the point?
Okay, now if let's look at another aspect, the way and manner young people are going into drugs. Sometimes, what do you think is responsible?
And I still idleness. A country where we say jobs not there. I know a lot of people where they drive keke. Many of them are graduates. You understand?
Okay.
They get BSc from universities, prominent places. When they start school, they get the belief say they want to run programs and graduate for what will make them become a better man, and they end up the right keke. So now those will still get the courage to overlook the qualification where they get to find alternative means to make ends meet. And I do that one. Many go just feel say, I don't go if you go do this thing, whether not boys or not girls. You understand? The private sector and the foreign direct investment and establishment not really did every state like a donor. For Lagos, they get many of those big companies where people feel work, they earn good money, they feel drive good cars, live good life. For here, not they. Perhaps that lack of jobs is the key morale. And sometimes, even when opportunity, they're not going to notice some because they're already tired and thinking about the worst case scenario. I think that is why many people they use drug, because now idleness now they cause drug abuse.
Make I still at the comeback. Make I just open our telephone line. For us, the program now UDUOTA and with the reach now from Independent Television, Edo State, Nigeria. Today now our program and your program. Now all of us go drive this program. So if you call our number 052-290-573, the percentage of young people when they go into drugs, they very alarming. Two things when I want to ask you. So if you just call us, make your own contribution like we used to talk. If you call, turn down the volume of your television set and make sure the use of language is very important. You must respect our president, you must respect our governor, you must respect our commissioners, you must use, because children too also the word you pronounce. So the language must be polite. You can say anything, but you must ensure say you use your language. Last week Sunday, a pastor talked for this town, carry one small boy come out. The boy is about 15 years. The boy said, won't use him mama and father to go do money ritual. Where did you get it wrong?
Well, you see, one thing I noticed about our society, and you say where we get them from, everybody seems to mind to face their own issues. You get the point?
Yes.
This love for money, especially from these are Nollywood movies, whereby they flaunt wealth. You get the point?
Yes.
When people don't watch those things that are just moving, idea, who make those movies, who write those scripts, make money. But person where they watch and feel say, now this movie be, and so real life be. Part of what I really feel say it played the role. Do you understand? Because a lot of our society can't really get used to watching a lot of things online, and this Android phones and this social media can bring them even closer to themselves on their handheld devices. So when they see lifestyle, where they feel say people they live, whether in the artistry world, whether in a way of life, whether in the way people they want flaunt word for this country, everybody now we're all guilty of materialism. We always talk about who get money, who not get money, then talk about how. Everybody where they talk, it's always about money, money, money. So because of that pressure of money, now they lead to those kind of behavior now. Where person go say he wants to get the money for him to suffer for 100 years. He better enjoy for 50 years, they don't care. So that our character, we as people, the value where we attach to money, where they make us misbehave, are the biggest problem we get.
Value attached to at the corner. Hello, good evening. Okay, go ahead. See the value when we attach to money.
Yeah, the value when we attach to money. Because like for some of us who don't get the privilege to grow up from a very younger age in the Western world, the way things say they go down here, they work like that for the Western world.
How?
Nobody care whether you get money or not get, and nobody will call the show off, say, see this person get money or that one not get money. If you there or uptown, president of country or the footballer will pass you, or business mogul, he go pass you where he get so much wealth. He go just drive past normal. They don't carry police, not carry anything. Nobody really feel intimidated, say, I must go be like, if you get money like Big Gate, wear t-shirt and jeans and sneakers, walk up pass, he greet you, Bill, he pass. He not show to you, say, he bring, anything will make people feel intimidated. Or maybe they feel that they talk to one young girl with a fancy or anything where they want to buy, you call it loud and say they don't get those kind of character there. That is why the weight where they get there and the life where they live there is even better than here. But there's no pressure, no peer pressure. Everybody they feel afford to buy something. If you take me out today, you pay for drink. If I take you out tomorrow, I'll first pay for drink. So there's a kind of a balance in the society. But
how they take do?
The only way they take do is that they work on their country, they build the institutions, they allow investment to come in, and they don't get that African mentality and behavior of always talking about, do you know who I am? I'm this and this and that. What do you get? What do you drive? Which kind of drink you buy? You know those kind of material things. Now materialism now kill us. And even on social media today, all the nasty things where they go on for them. For example, things like Big Brother. BBN Nigeria, for example, not be waiting me go ever sit down and watch. Because I don't want to sound like an antichrist or whatever. That thing they're very nasty in a way that the people who they promote and don't use that to exploit Nigerians well. Some of the characters and much of the display of the way people they behave there, and when kids or people come they exposed to that, be waiting they senate with our natural traditional society. You understand? Nasty behavior, people they go nude for those kind of places, and at the end they try and normalize those kind of nasty behavior, especially in the African content. So all these are part of the things where they lead to all these problems we get. And when the person come out, after I don't put up those bad behavior for TV, misbehave, many of the girls we did they don't even cook clean, they never they show homegrown, our parents they train them. In the past, BBN Nigeria to show who get good character, who fit cook, man who fit behave well, when not they misbehave. Well, now they'll just pack some lunatics and loose girls and people probably will not get what they do, enter there when they come out and win 90 million. Which young man or young girl you want to tell that kind of thing where you be say, don't be those kind of people to emulate. You understand? Even when our doctors they apply to go abroad overseas, they need them to come. The generation coming not get interest for those things again. Because they are victims, but the society where we live, they allow certain things to happen. Even a president for this country, I go bomb BB in Nigeria. It don't go happen here because we never strong reach to the do wetin Oyibo people they do. Big Brother UK or Big Brother America now for the country where they say they don't rise above those petty things. And I don't know where they for copy their own. And if you watch this program, a lot of the things that they do are nasty things. I personally not tell you say I did against them, but if I'm the president, I'll stop them. They're not doing, they're not sure. Because
so many young people say they like them.
Because it's not now what's not good now people they like. And then when they complain, say why our society be like this? Why did they use drugs? Why did they
the other one, I don't know whether I'm not confident get the video. Just I'm also show the video of one boy who said they ask him question, say he no mind if he live for 3 years, he go use his mama or his papa to do ritual. Say no care. Where we get this orientation, what happened to us? But again, the program UDUOTA with the original from Independent Television, Edo State, Nigeria. If you call us for our number 052-290-573, 052-290-573, we will look at this country together. The attitude of the young men, the one who say they government, the one where they aspire to enter government, and the one with the life after government, and the way young people call they put out for some kind of diseases. Everybody call the fear. Don't also forget about inside the program too. Our former vice president will be Oga Atiku Abubakar Laji. Don't tell us say no, not be zoning will solve our Nigeria problem. So what people say no, the time when the zone is take favor, why you not talk that and say the thing not go solve our Nigeria problem? Now that they feel say the thing not go zone, they not go so favor because say the committee don't already ratify with the the next don't ratify with the committee talk. Let me talk like so. Etisa, we will go again. Okay, all right. Be the daylight. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What do be your name or where they call us from?
My name is Ubefo Sadolo. I did my name, and I did call from Teddy Sekola.
Okay. I hear you. Go ahead.
I thank you so much for this program when I did watch for air. So and nothing I want just contribute and to appreciate that my brother there.
Yes.
Although I missed the program, so I just joined. For the word we don't talk, so I don't think I get anything to add because on my mind, I speak so. And I thank God for the man because he go far away. For a young man like this to get this kind of vision, to get this kind of, I don't know how they get all these things in the talk, maybe not kicked, I don't know. But I want to tell you, say, majority of us, now our mind they speak. And if you look the society today, all with they talk, exactly with him, they happen with that. So I just want call to appreciate them, to thank them and make it their focus toward this direction. And God will help them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, now for you, person don't see the area where they talk, they go. So when you hear, I see that boy, they talk or record for video, see, make say no. Hello, move take this call. Move take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. What do you be your name? Where they call us from?
Hello.
Will they hear you? Come on from where your television day. Waka come on from where your television day.
I don't know the television now.
Will they hear you now?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, I come from Lagos.
Go ahead, sir.
The thing will be bother me. The thing will be bother me now.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, will they hear you?
Now the this COVID-19 for Benin, where Obaseki say if you don't take care,
Governor Obaseki.
you know we go church. Will they hear me?
Will they hear you, sir? Will they hear you? Go ahead.
Yes. So how you not say? How you not say? Is it by force?
Well, even the governor to get your own reason why he put make her like that. He said he wants to safeguard the people. All right, that does it talking. Make your own conclusion. The movie teacher can knock. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, your name and why they call us for this evening?
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Lagos.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
I want to thank you, the presenter.
Thank you, sir.
And most especially the young man there.
Yes.
As I listen to your program,
Yes.
I'm filled with joy.
Thank you very much, sir.
I thought Nigeria had finished.
No, sir.
But that young man has given hope to us.
Yes.
I listened to his presentation.
Yes.
I listened to his thought process.
Yes.
I listened to his logic
Yes.
and reasoning.
Yes.
As young as he is, I thought he's among these new generation lost.
Yes.
We still have reservation.
Yes.
I am glad to hear it from him. And I am so happy that Nigeria will continue to grow.
Amen. Amen.
That Nigeria will not die.
Amen. Amen.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Amen. Keep tuning to this program. As I keep watching this program every Monday and Friday, this kind of time, we always bring in new things to discuss.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's another prayer for Lagos. Now you get the floor to do. Hello? Okay, we missed that call from Lagos. Maybe we just see one other call before we call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. What is your name and where they call us from?
From Benin.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Will I hear you? Go ahead. Sir, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I want to sincerely thank and appreciate those who are calling to also say, well, perhaps within I talk, they find value now. I mean, that is the fact, and the Bible said it. Speak the truth, and the truth shall set you free. For me, anytime I speak, I let the truth come out. You know, my appearance and my posture not really represent what I be inside. And I'm on that path, and I will stay on that path until whenever things turn around. Because yes, we have a lot to offer. There are many good guys, many guys who understand what time it is, where you go participate, but many of them invest come out. They tell them when you invest come on, you know, staying long enough to make a difference. When I talk about that issue of BBN Nigeria just now, when they get many people to react, can you imagine that in Nigeria, more people they vote for BB Nigeria than they vote for a general election? When issue of change come or a demand come, what you need from government, you go come they fight elected government when you don't already vote, collect money. You cannot be a young man, you collect money, vote. You go wait for the person to see turn out. If you don't want them, vote them out the next election. More people vote in BBM Nigeria in their millions, spending their money. And when it comes to general election, they expect you to pay them to vote for their own future. When after the NSAS program, I was on Vanguard Live, about 16-point-something million viewers, and I told them, I said this NSAS thing. I said,
hello, Mr. President. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Would I hear you? Go ahead, sir. You say NSAS
yeah,
thing.
I said this NSAS thing at the time.
So you do Vanguard Live.
To me, when I was on Vanguard, I tell the same, it go end up nowhere. Because you know why? You get to look at windows, you get to look at opportunities. If you go market, go buy something with 10,000 naira, you reach there, the can sell on 5,000 on discount, you have what they call opportunity cost. Which means the extra 5K will make you invest in other things where you supposed to buy. You cannot have a situation whereby you say there is street person, you enter a battle. The battle you enter, they demand the federal government to step aside, to come out from government house. When as a matter of fact, when it comes to the issue of voting, most of them get voters card. They expect them to give you money to vote. You know, understand? For who you feel so lead you.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. What is your name? Where they call us from?
I'm calling from Benin.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead. But reduce the volume of your television.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. I'm calling from Benin.
Go ahead. We hear you, Daniel.
Yes. In regard to your discussion,
Yes, sir.
I hear God will bless you, Iman, and the other man with you there.
Yeah.
But you know, the reason why things are like this, like you see our youth now, you know, somebody will say he wants to carry his mother for ritual and all of that. It's because of the value of our society. You know, many of the parents, they are encouraging their youth, their children to do evil. Maybe for instance, when you see your child, not up to 15 years or 17 years, you know, riding big car, you know, living a life where you're not supposed to, you know, where they marry. And you as a parent, you cannot control that child. But tomorrow that child will become another thing. At the end of the day, like as I was telling somebody right now, what goes around comes around. So that's the value, you don't too golden. Many of the parents, like as I said now, they will be encouraging their children. Bringing a 17-year child, boy, or not even up to, like 20 years. Bringing car of $1 million. Or maybe, you know, living the life that is not supposed. At the end of the day, you are the parents, you are seeing that child. You cannot control. To me, if I see my child, I have children with me by God grace. But when I saw that child, in possession of the catching way not supposed to, I will control that child. When they don't see that kind of a thing, then most of our parents, they are not like that. So God will bless you, my brother, and I love this discussion. The way God will bless you, God will share you, and the other man with you. I've been listening to you, so God will bless you.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
So, I think the point we were talking about was the issues of the voting, you know, and the NSAS thing. And I tell them, so you get a way to come into this battle, but you don't work out on the exit strategy. How you go tell me, say, NSAS not going to get leadership? Who give someone, the governor of Lagos State, their demand? The minute you give her that demand, you are supposed to key into that opportunity to say, okay, we elect people, we give them, we stick with that plan. So that the person with their villa go listen to what they talk. But then, because they say wisdom and education and travel, you know, when you travel far and wide, it gives you a lot of spread on many things. But you know, if you get companies.
Who you mentioned your name just now, it get travel and spread.
Who is that?
You mentioned somebody's name just now.
The governor of.
No. What's his name again? Go ahead. You
know, if you come now, you go block road. I want to use this medium to tell every Nigerian citizen and every youth, say, sometimes they say if you want to hide something away from black man, you go hide that thing for a side book. We'll be very intelligent people, but if we do open book, we're going to understand many things. It may not factor us on how we are, if it not beat our traditional value, but it will help us to know how to take advantage of opportunities. The minute you block road in a country that is sovereign, a country that signs a sovereign guarantee with an investment company who can put in like $2-3 billion here, or $500 million like Chevron, they between Lekki and Ikoyi and all those areas, they operate, and you block them. They know they go, they know they come. By the time they sue Nigerian government, they will finish everything when they get abroad. That will plunder you more into poverty. You cannot block road and not create access route. Go and check history. Look at what they called Occupy Wall Street. It happened for New York and England. They were there for more than 18 months. They're not block road. But eventually, government sit in and they listen to their cause. So whenever there's issue of agitation, if we not get sense to use voters' card to demand what we want, because after the so-called answers, some will where they mislead young people. Because
for me, say they mislead young people.
No,
that's your opinion. Now,
my opinion.
But you know why? You know there now, so you know if something they mislead people.
I'll leave alone. I just felt that way. Issues like that. He presented the candidates immediately after answer. For Lagos State election, the candidates still lose to PDP and APC. Still lose. APC win. So where are all these youths we gather for NSAS? Are we saying that the youth only know for what is wrong? So it means that those where they look up to like role models, the musicians, the footballers, and most of these actors, they just get talent. They don't get any single brain.
No, you know if you say they don't get brain, if you say they never work the same way, because when you say they don't get brain, like say they saw them.
Sorry, I mean say they don't get an understanding of an institutional establishment. So when you see people that like the video, most of them come at that time. They don't understand, say, for coming out, the way they want to show the support. It can't be like, say, send the wrong signal to the young people. Before you know, they can't extort themselves. They can't block everywhere, they extort people. Not be so we'll take change up. The way we'll take change up is that we really need to get conference where they engage each other. To come and say, if you block road, you block anywhere, you block Lagos, block Kaduna, block. The companies where supposed to operate, we're supposed to carry goods from Lekki to Aja, or from Lekki to Ikoyi, or from Lekki to Ikeja. If you don't allow them, don't hammer Nigerian government.
So they sue them. When there is an agitation, they don't need to be block road.
You must allow access routes. You can show your grievances. It's not supposed to become violent. Because the emotions, emotional intelligence needs to high. Your emotion not feel rise above you. Because if you rise above you, people will commit murder. Then they end up for jail because they not feel control their emotions. Now, what thing I see when I talk out for Vanguard Live, they say, "What thing me?" I say, "Bro, see, it's not the truth. I tell you now. If you want to look at how people say they achieve those things through protest, protest must be done with your voter's card. Tell them say keep your money as long as they bring up Akpololo as a young man." And I know say that young man, I want to go vote for her. If all of them they vote for Akpololo today, no amount of money politician will give you, where you go fit pursue your vote. Instead of them to do that one, they'll make noise, and at the end of the day, when they go vote, they still collect. I was so surprised that so we already produced the young candidate. At the end, the candidate lose. So what is the point of the NSAS thing? What was it for?
Okay, for the make contest as what?
It contested in Lagos State. I think they did.
Okay, the local government election.
Local government election. They lost. So which means the youth will gather so where they verse, not fit verse, voting so with the candidates to just let them know say the youth don't come. And our youth not many parts of voting centers. So I don't understand where we from miss them. And this problem, it be like a rope with a tie. We really need to sit back and look at ways to promote what is good. We don't ever start. So all this, their social media life, all these many things, it takes by the grace of God. And I make it be say this issue of rituals and all this Yahoo thing never did too. It will still increase if care is not taken and drug issues. So we need to find a way to tackle them.
Okay, maybe we'll take this last call coming for you. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Good evening, I beg. Let me last caller. Go straight.
Good evening. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Okay, go ahead, Oga.
Hello, good evening. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Go ahead, we are hearing you.
Okay, thank you. I like the way your analysis, but I like the thought there.
Yes. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
But the thing that I want to ask is, the way Mapeke handled that COVID-19 issue,
Yes.
where I support that.
Okay, you support Arabi?
I support the way where he handled that COVID-19 issue.
Yes. You support Abi, you don't support her?
So I said today that in the whole Nigeria, anybody that does not do, that they don't have that vaccine should not enter any government offices. Anybody who obeys it.
Okay, sir. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
Good evening, we hear you. Go ahead. Our last caller.
Good evening. Is that MCC?
Yes. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Lagos.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, people that they discuss, and God will bless you now well.
Amen. And you too, sir.
The youth, when they come out for NSAS, let them still come out for election. Don't say they don't want money again. This country will be better.
Amen.
You understand?
Yes.
Please, this program, let people educate the youth. Let them know their rights.
Okay.
Don't make them give their money. Like for Lagos, where we go now. I dey look at life, I dey Lagos.
Yes, sir.
You understand? They go share money for them. They go clear their rights. That's why we are talking tomorrow. That's what we suffer today. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, it's just, sir. In your opinion, you don't become youth this thing now. So every time we come here now, you go to educate the youth on the way to go about the election. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. And I'll just add one thing quickly. Okay. I don't come here to undermine the youth. They say make who they beat. Nobody say may not cry. The youth are victim of circumstances.
Yes.
But if we talk to each other, with the look open book and with the reason well, I believe say we'll quickly solve this issue because Nigerians they're very smart. But to the block road, make nobody move. That one I get sovereign guarantee. Let them go and read on it. You don't do it. If you do it, if they hammer Nigerian government, anything Nigeria get to the tune of billions, they'll collect abroad and it will not be good for the country.
Thank you very much, and we wish you all the success in your mission.
Thank you.
All right, so that's what we do wrap up the program today. Our brother, Barrister Anthony Ehilebo, he's join us for inside this program, but of course, say they watch us, but not could join us. All our callers from Lagos, from Ibadan, and from Abuja, we salute all of them. We will say by Friday we'll do again. Until then, move the poor for better. God bless Nigeria. Good night.